In the heavy snow of December 7, 1939, a 25-year-old literary prodigy named Barbara Newhall Follett walked out of her Brookline, Massachusetts, apartment with $30 in her pocket and a spooky determination in her heart. She was a child star who had published her first novel at age 12. But the weight of adulthood and a failing marriage had become too dark to bear. Barbara was a spooky genius. Her first book, The House Without Windows, was a heavy success, praised for its ethereal prose. She was a nature child who spent her youth on wooden ships and in wild forests. But when her father, her heavy mentor, abandoned the family for a younger woman, Barbara's spooky world of fantasy collapsed into a heavy and bitter reality. By 1939, Barbara was working as a shorthand typist, a job she found soul-crushing and heavy. Her husband, Nickerson Rogers, was reportedly unfaithful. On that spooky December night, after a heavy argument, she left without a coat. She told him she was going for a walk, but she stepped into a void that would delete her from history for over 25 years. The spooky part of the case was the silence. Nickerson didn't report her missing for 2 weeks. When the heavy police investigation finally began, they found no trace of her. She hadn't taken her manuscripts or her cherished books. It was as if the girl who wrote about disappearing into nature had finally performed her own fictional exit in the physical world. The mystery turned dark when it was revealed that Barbara's mother, Helen, spent decades searching in secret. She believed Nickerson was involved, or that Barbara had suffered a heavy breakdown. But the spooky lack of a body or a shimmer of a sighting meant the case went cold. Barbara Newhall Follett had become a ghost in the heavy archives of the Great Depression. In the 1960s, a heavy discovery was made. A woman's body had been found in the spooky woods of New Hampshire shortly after Barbara vanished. But it was never identified. By the time researchers linked the missing star to the John Doe files, the remains had been lost or reburied. The heavy chance to find the truth had vaporized into the bureaucratic mist. Barbara Newhall Follett represents the tragedy of the child star. It is a story of typewriters and tides, a puzzle that proves that genius is a heavy and vulnerable thing. She was a woman who dreamed of a world without windows, and she found it in the spooky silence of her own vanishing. She is the lost girl of literature, a mystery that remains unwritten. Today, her heavy and beautiful books have been rediscovered. A new generation reads her spooky prose and wonders where she went. Was she a suicide, a murder victim, or a runaway who lived a heavy and secret life under a new name? The Barbara mystery is a shimmering reminder that some spirits are too wild to be contained by a biography. As the winter wind howls through Brookline tonight, remember the girl with the $30. Think of the apartment door closing and the spooky walk into the void. The mystery of Barbara Newhall Follett is a heavy reminder that the true north of a soul is often hidden. She is the patron saint of the disappearing, a mystery that will remain as long as ink meets paper. The final mystery lies in her words. In her last letters, she spoke of a heavy longing for the forest. This spooky foreshadowing suggests she chose her end. She was a naturalist who became nature itself. The Barbara Follett mystery is a heavy story of art and absence, a puzzle that vibrates through the heavy air of the unknown, forever shimmering and lost.